outside here in Orange, California, it's a beautiful day, but inside here at Hutton Sports Arena, a storm is brewing as the Occidental Tigers take the road and are taking on the Chapman Panthers. We're live on Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network's coverage of Sky Volleyball. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder alongside my partner, Dan Batson. We're thrilled to be calling this game tonight. Dan, how are we feeling?
It feels wonderful. The last home game of the season for these Chapman's women's volleyball team players, and we couldn't be happier to be up here. We're doing our first Tier 1 broadcast here at CSBN for volleyball, and we're ecstatic. We're ready to go. But before we get down there for some action, we're going to take a look around the SCIAC Conference and see what other teams are looking like in the standings.
Yeah, so you look at the top of those standings, you see Claremont, the Athenas. They're undefeated, 15-0, 25-0 total on the season. And then right behind them, you see Cal Lutheran, Laverne, and Pomona, and then Chapman. But Occidental may be at the bottom of the standings, but they beat Chapman in 4 sets earlier this season, Dan.
Yeah, and it's going to be something to look back on tonight. You know, they're at the bottom of the table. Chapman's sitting right around the middle, but yeah, Occidental coming back to see if they can get that second win against the Panthers, and Chapman looking to come home with a win, especially on senior night. This is such a big night for everybody on this team.
It is. It certainly brings up an opportunity for them to have some spoils of war in this matchup. So we can look at the comparison between these two teams, the Panthers and the Tigers. We look at their record. They're very similar at the top of this. 6-15 for the Tigers, 7-15 for Chapman on the kills per set. But look at the digs. Chapman a little bit better.
Yeah, we're seeing that because of just the star power in that libero position. We see Kat Helgeson, obviously one of the best liberos in the SCIAC Conference, just hit her career total of 1,500 digs after her years at Chapman University, and just an incredible number. 38 last night against Whittier in that win, and we're looking to see some more libero action here tonight.
Absolutely. Yesterday, Chapman had a wild comeback win against the Whittier Poets. There in Whittier, they were down 2 sets to love. In the third set, they were trailing and then came back out of nowhere, ended up winning in 5 sets, a tight one, and Kat Helgeson did play a pretty good game.
Yeah, very, very good. But we had some of our own CSBN crew head over to practice on Wednesday to shoot a little bit of what do the seniors think of some of their favorite moments here as the Chapman women's volleyball team, and we're going to have that package for you right now.
I've been playing volleyball for 10 years.
Since 5th grade.
Forever.
It is really neat to have 7 athletes come in as freshmen and stay all the way through senior year. With several of them are graduating in December, and then rest, will graduate in May. And they're a good group of ladies to have.
I'll never forget beating CMS our freshman year at home.
We went undefeated at home.
They had the first 2 sets on us. We came together as a team. We wanted to win this so bad, and we came back at home.
Beating Claremont in that 5th set. The finals last year against CMS, we almost beat them, and it was pretty awesome.
It's kind of like children, right? You can't have a favorite one. They're all good leaders. They're all good. They help carry the team. We do a lot of team bonding stuff away from the gym, and just their leadership and their personalities. They kept the team together through the last 4 years.
I love when we are the underdog and we come out on a big win.
So great, so rewarding.
Being part of the Chapman team is just really special.
An awesome package that we saw put together by our very talented students here at Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network. It's a club, but the stuff we've put together is really impressive.
Yeah, and especially tonight. Usually our volleyball broadcasts are what we call Tier 3 and 4 broadcasts, just some of these 3 to 4 smaller cameras, and tonight we've got some of the best cameras that the business can offer. 5 of them on the court, up here in the press box, all over. We're getting all the coverage you could want or need, and it feels amazing, being up here with you. We're used to, some smaller scale things when we're up here in the gym, but tonight we're going all out just like we would for a football game.
It is, and when we talk about football, it's normally the bigger ones, but this is just as big for those fans that have stuck with it all season and been able to see us throughout games, but for those Occidental fans that maybe weren't able to make the drive out here tonight and have players. Occidental had their senior night yesterday. They had a loss against the Claremont Athenas, a very tough game really, to have for your seniors. But I think that, going into this game, a player like Carranza on that Occidental side has been really good. And, they ask a lot of their players is, they don't have a ton of depth. They have a small roster, Dan.
Yes, they do. And, only having 10 players compared to the Chapman side of things, where they've got upwards of 20 players on their active roster. It'll be interesting to see, how we're going to change in between that, but you're going to see a lot less of those subs coming on. But we talked about liberos in the pregame show, and I think we can keep talking about that. If we see Kat Helgeson right there. But the liberos, obviously, on the Occidental side, that's going to be Iris Archibald, and we've said her name so many times. We're going to say it so many more times, Kat Helgeson. Those are going to be the two players to watch for me on the defensive side of things.
Right, and, in terms of, the attacking, offense, senior Leighton Gagnon's had a good year. She's one of the captains, along with Kat, for this roster, but we've seen, a transfer, Marley Johnson, who's had a really nice role. And yesterday, I got to tell you, Brooke Leslie came into that game, looked like in the third set, didn't play a lot in the first two, an immediate impact right away in terms of bringing in the attack and getting aggressive. And Chapman, it was some of the best volleyball they played all year, really.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about it, in previous broadcasts for the people that, are really tuning in. But even in that package, you heard that this team is really like a family. They've been together for a very long time. They really take their bonding seriously, and they make sure that everybody feels a part of this team. And I think you really see it, especially in warm-ups. We were talking about it earlier. Intense warm-ups. We saw almost 60 minutes of warming up, and just amazing to see as, we can see a little bit as me and Josh up here in the press box that some of the parents are lining up over there by that sideline, got the flowers in hand as we are recognizing 7 of those amazing seniors for senior night tonight.
Yeah, up front, it'll be interesting to see a player like Natalie Whitco, who hasn't had a lot of action this year. On the other side for Occidental, Lindsay Nurse is a good player. She's a middle blocker junior, tall, 6'1", and has played good. This is a team that beat Whittier also throughout this season, and it really bodes to be a very tight matchup, especially some of these Panther girls talked about how one of their worst games of the season was that road game last month against Occidental, and tonight, come out on a senior night, you want to play well, but again, it's about executing. And there's some parents coming onto the court now as they're starting to get set to recognize these players. And let's talk about some of these seniors specifically.
Yeah, we've got 7 of them, like we said. Over all of the positions, we've got middles who are playing the senior. We've got Kat Helgeson, number 5. We've said her name a lot. Obviously, the setter, number 9, Jenna Richardson right there. And number 10, of course, Natalie Whitco.
Yeah, and you can see, and again, the playing time, Jenna was a player that came in among with Kayla Klumper, as you can see right on the screen, number 1. She has a bunch of family. Her brother, Ray, came out from Kentucky, coming out to watch this one. She's got an aunt, parents here tonight, and a lot of people were at that game against the Whittier Poets last evening watching it, and to see their seniors go out and in a game that looked like it was going to be a straight set loss, end up in showing that fighting spirit that, hey, we want to end this season on a high note, and how nice would that be to be able to come out, play well, execute, as you see Natalie getting a warm-up hit in.
And we can't forget, of course, number 3, Kelsey Albano. Obviously, we've seen a little less playing time from her this season, but we did see her our last broadcast, actually, while we were calling it together. She came out, played that defensive back position a little bit. But, yeah, amazing stuff from all these players. And looking forward to seeing what they can do tonight as we can see Coach Mary Cahill kind of organizing all the chaos that seems to be on the floor right now, making sure everybody's in the right place at the right time. We can't talk about this team without talking about Coach Cahill. Been here for over 30 years, over 500 wins. She is an integral part of this team, and when you talk about family, she's got to be the head of it.
Oh, and you look at her tenure here as the Chapman Lady Panther head coach of this volleyball team, has had success, and talk about last year how close they were to taking out
That's right.
what you could say was a better Claremont Athena volleyball team, and this year they had a couple of tough battles against them. Almost took a set. They were able to put up 25 points in the second set against them here at Hutton. But going into your last career game, you'd imagine that we see some emotions at some point tonight. If you see Sophie Boble, number 21, another one of those outside players, you'll see how much playing time she has. And she has played a good amount this season in some key moments and in that position, digging out balls from the backcourt and helping out.
Yeah, a huge part of her gameplay on this team has definitely been in that defensive position. She's another one of those standout seniors we have out of those 7. And I think we've covered all of them. I think we got all of our seniors, make sure we got them in, ended on that last kill as we start to huddle up. And I believe we are about to go into those senior recognitions. What this is all about tonight, really. We're remembering those seniors. We're saying thank you so much for your hard work, your effort, and hopefully coming out with a win after we get this nice little walk in remembrance.
Right, we'll see how this goes. Obviously, the timing, it may be a minute here, so we'll talk a little bit, continue until they, announce to the crowd when they're going to start recognizing. But again, there are 7 seniors for Chapman. Occidental, we mentioned earlier, had their senior night, a loss in straight sets against Claremont. But here for Chapman, look at this game, and pretty much all these girls, their family, they do a really nice tradition where they bring out flowers and all kinds of stuff for their family. And something they might be able to do is maybe tune into this broadcast and rewatch it, because it's really special. A lot of hard work has gone into to put in the preparation and to make this look very good for everybody. It's not just the voices of Josh and Dan up here, it's the graphics team, it's production, and putting this all together.
Yeah, and especially all of our camera operators. We got 5 of them tonight, some on the floor, some up in the box, as we head down to the court for what we're soon going to have our senior recognitions.
Chapman University. Tonight we will honor the 7 seniors on the Panthers women's volleyball team. Chapman women's volleyball has a history of athletic and academic excellence, as these 7 athletes have combined for 19 SCIAC all-academic nominations, with each student earning at least 1. Congratulations to all 7 of them for having such impressive athletic and academic careers. Before we introduce Chapman's 7 seniors, we would like to recognize the lone senior in Occidental's program. Number 21, Kat Hodacek. Kat is earning her degree in media arts and coaching. Now let's meet Chapman's 7 seniors. Our first senior has been with the program since 2019. She's appeared in 45 sets across 24 matches, accumulating 47 kills. She did an impressive 625 in her freshman campaign and has collected 19 digs across her career. She's a 3-time member of the SCIAC all-academic team, a 5'10" right side from Fort Wayne, Kentucky, earning her degree in health sciences. Number 1, Kayla Chapman. Kayla is joined tonight by her parents Tammy and Ted and her brother Ray. Our next senior has been with the program since 2019 and is a 3-time member of the SCIAC all-academic team. She's perfect when it comes to hitting with a 1,000 career hitting percentage on 2 attacks. She's accumulated 4 digs across 14 sets played. A 5-foot libero defensive specialist from Hawaii, earning her degrees in psychology and business administration. Number 3, Kelsey Albano. Kelsey is joined tonight by her parents Sherry and Jean, her sister Kristen, and her aunt Rosemary. This next senior has also spent 4 seasons with the Panthers starting in 2019. In 2019, she was the SCIAC Newcomer of the Year and named 2nd Team All-SCIAC. In 2021, she was named 1st Team All-SCIAC. She's accumulated nearly 5.5 digs per set, collecting 1,500 digs in her career after a career-high 38 in last night's victory, and adding over 300 assists. She truly embodies the term student athlete, earning SCIAC all-academic recognition 3 times and always using her head on the court, as seen in her 2nd career kill last week. A 5'3" libero from Walnut Creek getting her degree in health sciences. Number 5, Kat Helgeson. Kat is joined by her parents Molly and Jared, her grandparents Bob and Ellen, her brothers Christian and Connor, and her boyfriend Nick. Our next senior has been with the program since 2019. She has collected 672 assists across her career, including 367 in her freshman campaign, and averaging over 4 assists per set. She was a pivotal member of the last 2 postseason runs, finding the Panthers in the SCIAC Championship in 2019 and 2021. A member of the SCIAC all-academic team, a 5'8" setter from Nevada, earning her degree in psychology. Number 9, Jenna Richardson. Jenna is joined by her parents, Eve and Nelson, her brother Logan, and her grandma Linda, her grandma Nancy, her grandma Ed, and her uncle Ed Jr. This next senior has program since 2019, a 3-time SCIAC All-Academic Team member. She's played in 95 sets across 35 matches, earning 81 kills. She's posted a career .261 hitting percentage on 199 total attempts. A 6'2" middle from La Jolla, earning her degree in accounting and business finance. Number 10, Natalie Whitlow. Natalie is joined by her parents, Kurt and Jenna, and her siblings, Anna and Allison and Nathan. The next senior is another Panther with a 4-year tenure. She's been an impressive hitter for the Panthers throughout her career, earning 318 kills across 167 sets played. She posted a career-high 16 kills in a tight 3-2 contest against CMS in 2021. She's another 3-time member of the SCIAC All-Academic Team, a 5'11" right side from Phoenix, earning her degree in health sciences. Number 11, Layton Gagnon. Layton was joined by her parents, Beth and Charlie. Our final senior is another 4-year member of the program. She spent her time on the outside collecting 28 kills across 44 sets in 28 matches played. She's also helped the Panthers defensively, grabbing 58 digs, over 1.3 digs per set in the back row. A 3-time SCIAC All-Academic Team member, a 5'10" outside from Valencia, earning her degree in broadcast journalism and documentary. Number 21, Sophie Bever. Sophie is joined by her parents, Sandra and Nell. As the seniors gather there on the court to take one more photo, fans, please join us in congratulating these 7 seniors one more time. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise if anyone who recaps this We Honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Now let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Occidental Tigers. Number 1, Lindsay Nurse. Number 4, Aliana Carranza. Number 9, Iris Archibald. Number 11, Estelle Harsh. Number 15, Anaya Hawthorne. Number 21, Kat Hodacek. And number 25, Eliana Chanel. The coach of the Tigers is Heather Collins. She's assisted by Cassandra Judas and Taylor Cruz. And now, fans, the starting lineup for your Chapman University Panthers. A 5'3" senior from Royal Creek, number 5, Kat Helgeson. A 5'8" senior from Lovato, number 9, Jenna Richardson. A 6'2" senior from Loyola, number 10, Natalie Wicklow. A 5'11" senior from Phoenix, number 11, Reagan Lennon. A 5'11" sophomore from Portland, number 12, Maddie Dowell. A 5'10" sophomore from Shadow Springs, number 17, Julie Kennison. And a 5'10" senior from Valencia, number 21, Sophie Butler. That is coached by Rick Cato. She's assisted by Brittany.
After an absolutely riveting national anthem and the starting lineups, we are set for action here in Hutton Sports Arena. Dan, it's good to see that recognition, everyone, but we've got an intense volleyball game to get underway, and we are ready for it. Bring the blood, bring the action. We're excited.
Yes, we are. As the girls are taking the court, we're about to see some great volleyball being played, and we're excited to get down there and see what it's like.
Yes, and sometimes they say in volleyball there's not the trash talking, but I'd expect there'll be a little bit of that tonight. Some extra energy and oomph for this one. The Panthers want to win. It's able to catch up with a couple of them throughout this week, and they really want this one. So whatever it takes. And again, a big cat battle. You know, the jungle we talk about, Tigers and the Panthers. Who's going to come out with it? You know, stay with us and find out here on Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network.
Yep, and we're going to head down and see what it's like as the substitutions are finally being made, and we're about to get underway. So let's see what it's like over there down on the court.
Yep, you can see the starting lineups, and they were talking about, you know, there's a lot of seniors out there on the court, the most we've seen for the start of any game this season, Dan.
That's right. Usually we only see about 2 or 3 come out there. Obviously, we got Natalie Whitcow coming out strong. Sophie Boble, Leighton Gagnon, Jenna Richardson, and Kat Helgeson. 5 out of the 6 players in that court are seniors outside of Julian Kennison. We're looking forward to it as Jenna Richardson going to start with the ball and start with our first serve of the night.
Yep, Jenna's a setter, and a lot of the setters, those positions we see, like Chanel set, if we see her tonight, will start it off as she puts that serve deep in the court. This one set to begin the day. Lindsay Nurse with the kill. A nice start for the Tigers.
Yeah, great way. I think we're going to see that one come up a lot tonight. That's the one set. Quick at the middle. And Natalie Whitcow's got to be up to get the block there. But we're going to see. I think they're going to keep going for it. Lindsay Nurse.
This is Gabrielle Barber. She's a setter out of Manhattan, New York. Her first serve of the night, and that one will go right in the net. So our first mistake of the evening will go to Barber as the score will be evened up, and Sophie Boble will take on the serving duties with the score knotted up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, viewers at home know I keep track of the service there, so that's 1.
Cross court, but on the serve, this one from Carranza, dug out by Helgeson. This set to Kennison, puts it deep in the court. Trying to corral that one was Kat Kodzacek, the senior, at 5'8", but not able to do so, Dan.
Yeah, it looked like the setter kind of got caught behind Lindsay Nurse there. Couldn't quite get her feet set for that set, and just missed out into the net.
Boble short in the court. A little setter dump, Jenna Richardson, and Natalie Whitcow, and she's got the kill. Dan, I see you holding on to your chest over here. A big play from the senior, and riding on the right arm of Sophie Boble. They've got a 3-1 lead.
Come on, representing for the middles out there all around. Natalie Whitcow finding a spot and absolutely demolishing it.
Boble at the serve. This is Carranza, and too much on that one, Dan. That goes out, so 4-1 for the Panthers after not a great start, losing the first point. come back pretty strongly here.
Yeah, and you're really, really happy with this start. Obviously, you lost that first point, but bouncing right back into it 4-1 as we enter the next serve from Sophie.
Volleyball low over the net. This from Kodacek. Richardson digs. Helgeson sets to Kennison. She goes right at Harsh. This is Carranza. Kennison digs. A set from Richardson. Kennison, that one's blocked. A nice play up front from Kat Kodacek, the senior.
Yeah, great play there. We're seeing them fight a little bit back for it now. Got a little bit of a longer rally there. Interesting to see, what is that coach telling them on the Oxy side? How are they readjusting? And I think we'll see, especially after a timeout, what they kind of do.
Serving, this is Carranza. Kennison sets and trying to corral it, but not able to. And 2 straight points, and Oxy's got themselves back at a 1 differential as they trail 3-4. Carranza is one of the better players on this Occidental roster, and she's got a good balance and one of the better offensive players. Free ball from Boble. Kodacek. That was Harsh with the hit. Kennison. That one caroms off the front from Nurse. Set up to the middle. That one will go out, and the Panthers take it. They lead 5-3. Action here from Hutton Sports Arena. Josh Blinner, Dan Batson, glad to have you with us. This is senior night. Again, a big game for these players. The seniors, a lot of action out here. We'll see how much they substitute as Natalie Whitco comes out. Up front, this is a nice hit. That one drops in from Nurse, and we saw the substitution. That's Maddie Dowdle coming into the game.
And set almost looked like a 5 that didn't quite make it. Not as fast as like a back 1 would be, but a nice swing. Found a spot in the court. Lindsay Nurse.
This is libero Iris Archibald. Richardson sets to Gagnon, and they're going to call it good. A bit of a tight call right there. Tipped. So right off the hands, and it would have been out. But again, when it's tipped, that counts as the block. Caroms off, and we'll see Chanel Sudd come into the game, as well as Kayla Klumper. Kayla's another senior on this roster. Again, they've got 7 that we will be seeing and absolutely conversing about tonight. This set trying to go the opposite way is Harsh. Sudd sets to Kennison, and good contact. We saw Gabrielle Barble trying to, dig that with the hands, but has to be a bit quicker, and 7-4 Chapman.
Great stuff from the sophomore there. Julian Kennison got off the ball and rips it down the line.
Sudd. This is a set from Kodacek. Sudd. Helgeson sets to Kennison, coming forward. One directed, the set from Kodacek. Kennison digs. Set. Dowdle. Nice contact. Diving for it is Archibald. Another point to Chapman. We'll see when at some point this energy, obviously, it's going to start to fill in. But the crowd, as big as we've seen all year, Dan Batson, at the start of a game as Sudd. Direct, and that one an ace for the Panthers. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I like to say, or a lot of people like to say, really. Not going to steal that one from myself.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a timeout, so 9-4, and the Panthers off to a great start here.
And, not always super luck-based there, obviously. Sometimes you've just placed that serve well enough, a little bit of topspin to go over the tape like that. So sometimes that's a little bit more skill than luck than you might think. But obviously a great start if you're a Chapman Panther fan as we go into this timeout 9-4. But I was talking about it earlier in the set. I said, how is Occidental going to come off the bench after timeout and readjust? They've seen the ball go to Julian Kennison a lot this set. So do they keep putting the block up on the outside? Do they leave more passers back? It'll be interesting to see.
It will, and looking on the other side at head coach Heather Collins, it's tough when you have a smaller roster because the Panthers in our broadcast this year, we've mentioned so often about the depth and rotating and those relationships between, those setter hitters, looking at Sudd and Gagnon, or looking at Richardson and Klumper, whoever's coming, or Johnson, who usually has been out there, probably won't see a lot of number 16 tonight, as we'll see a lot more action from the seniors. But when you're able to look at a coach like Mary Cahill, I'm sure this one's going to be one of the easier games to probably coach, just throwing out some of the older players and letting them get as much action as possible. As Sudd, the 5-point lead, serves the set from Kodacek. Hit, and that one watch go long as Bobo dove after it, and Sudd will continue to serve. 10-4 lead. She kicks the ball off, wanting a different ball to serve with, Dan. Why might that be?
Yeah, so sometimes you'll see they've got some people rubbing off the balls, making sure there's not any sweat, dust, or anything on it getting in the way, and then they'll use the clean ball.
The dig from Carranza set. Volleyball digs. Sud sets it. Kennison going the opposite way on the left side. Set from Godacek, and that's good contact in the middle from Hawthorne.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. I mean, I'm interested to see how we're going to play in this receive. You know, Chanel Sud motioning to see which set she's going to throw out, but Chanel Sud has been consistently really good all year.
Go to check the senior. That one over and well played up front, as we saw Harsh and, you know, smart, just going over the net, and it's always good to stay focused in any type of sport setting, but especially in volleyball, it's very tough because sometimes the ball can just trickle over, have to be ready for it. Jodacek continues serving, Helgeson digs, Volleyball setting to the front, running that one down was Klumper. Jodacek sets, getting up, blocked up front. Helgeson sets to Kennison, she goes right up the middle. That one set the other way, and it's gonna be a free ball from Harsh. Kennison, good contact up front, and that one shanking off, and the point going to the Chapman Panthers off of Hawthorne.
Yeah, great set on the 2 ball there. Not sending the middle, but sending your outside hitter as Kelsey Albano steps in, ready for the serve. Obviously, the energy's on the side of the Panthers right now.
Yeah, and they've got a great crowd and turnout. It's amazing to see that. I saw Whittier, last night had a terrific turnout. The energy at that stadium was crazy, and we'll obviously talk a little bit more about that game. But right now, that's a good point, just dropping forward. It's whenever we mentioned balls that are closer to it. In terms of the sets and location, you want it to obviously be high enough over the net where you can jump and make good contact, but not too close because you have to be able to put it over.
Yeah, really great insight. Making sure you got that set in the right spot is pivotal.
Volleyball digs, the set from Sud to Klumper on that right side. Block, Klumper digs. Set from Sud. Volleyball with the hit. This one will go out as Helgeson watches it go long. I mentioned how they were down 2, and really that 4th set and the way they're coming together, attacking the momentum and watching it and the energy, a lot of Chapman faithful out there. It was maybe the best set we've seen from the Panthers, just really not allowing themselves to lose. As very short in the court, as that one will be dug by Archibald. The hit just dropping into the court.
And we'll see Kat Helgeson coming in back from Maddie as the libero's coming in to play that back row position. But Oxy with the serve, we're going to see where they can go from here.
This is Hawthorne, the 6-foot middle blocker sophomore for the Tigers. Sud, Whitco, and that one will go wide. Point going to the Tigers, and we'll see, up front, we talk about obviously the liberos and their impacts, and Kat being the best probably in the SCIAC. She's not. She's certainly up there, but it is a interesting battle. Up front, that's just probably a miscommunication. It looked like between Albano and Volleyball, Dan.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. I don't ever want to look like a crab when I'm up here in the booth, but my hands are making sure they look like crabs because you got to talk when you're out there on the court.
A quote from Helgeson was, "You can never stop talking." That point will go.
It's going to go to the Occidental Tigers because they're calling the Chapman Panthers out of rotation. Got to make sure you're looking at where you are on the court. It's a pretty rare call when you see it, but yeah, obviously just not standing in the right spot.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that this season. The serve from Hawthorne, Volleyball digs. This one's set going right back to Volleyball, and it goes net, so we've got a tie game, 12-12.
And we've talked about it before, but it's very, very fast to go from having the lead to losing it, especially with the side outs. They can bring a lot of energy and sway the motion of the game.
Hawthorne, dig from Albano. Nice setup to Klumper and off the hands, and I like that the ball was going forward. She had enough time to get full extension, jump up. As they regain the lead, we see Sud and Klumper come out. The duo of Jenna Richardson at setter, and then at hitter, Leighton Gagnon.
Might be one of my favorite signs up there I just saw. It says that's a Kentucky kill as Kayla reigns from Kentucky herself.
That's great contact from Carranza. coming forward, and it's impressive. Whenever you can get a ball to go off of Kat Helgeson's hands or she doesn't put it up in the air for one of her teammates to set it, that is a great shot from the other team.
And yes, it is. Yes, indeed. Kat Helgeson, we've talked about her so much, and we're going to continue to. But tied up yet again. Chapman, Occidental, first set.
Barber serves to the middle. Helgeson digs. The set from Richardson. Gagnon diving and making that as it's over. Richardson setting to Gagnon on the right side, and she's got a kill for herself, and the crowd coming alive. I like these signs. You've got like fathead type busts of them, of the seniors, and they've got some sort of leaves. I don't know what that is. They got some palm type stuff with the fans. We might have to get some insight at some point as to what that is. Volleyball serves. Middle of the court. This from Nurse. Tracked down. Helgeson free ball. Sets up an aggressive spot for the Tigers. Coming forward is Carranza. The set from Richardson. Kennison going angle, and that one ends up in the crowd. A nice souvenir temporarily for a fan.
Yeah, cuts it really hard there on the angle. Saw the block was up and really flicked that wrist to make sure that she got it going the hard angle. As you can see, the football team up there in the top left getting loud and rowdy for this team right now.
The setter dump. Helgeson's all over it. Richardson to Kennison. Knocked off again on the ground is Harsh. Block from Whitko. Blocked again, and the Panthers will take that point. 16-13 in the top left. You've got the whole football team on their feet. It's awesome to see, that energy, the relationship between teams. If you get a timeout from Coach Heather Collins, and the energy, we see a shot of the crowd, a couple of those guys getting fired up. You love to see, again, second time I've said that, the energy and support that these Chapman sports teams have for each other and coming out to their games.
And already using both timeouts for the side of Occidental. That's incredible to see. We're not even, we're getting close to the halfway point of the match, but definitely not even near 20. So rare to see that, and you're leaving your team out there for at least 9 more points, and it'll be this is an interesting call, I think, for the timeout here. But Chapman's going to come right back out here. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. They're finding their groove yet again. Occidental kind of bringing it back a little bit, but the seniors are doing what they know how to do best. And Sophie Boble getting ready to serve once again as soon as Occidental comes back out here.
Yeah, she had that game earlier in the year that we were calling, I think it was against Whittier, where they were down like 18-24, and she had 5 straight serves.
That's
and we were going
correct.
crazy, like, is she about to make the magic happen? And they were not able to pull out that set.
Just one off, yeah.
But sometimes players get on a run and momentum in the sport. We mentioned yesterday, and obviously Occidental coming up with a tough loss, but the Panthers and the way they rallied behind each other after seeing some success, starting to believe, it was really cool to see as Archibald sets. That one off Richardson's left hand. 14-16, a great first set of action here, Dan.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, the play call there from the coach over there on the Occidental side of things is working out already. Got the point back, and they're serving.
I've always wondered the difference between what goes into the style of the hair and what they try and go with for a lot of these games going forward. As that one goes out, why do we decide a player like Boble is keeping the hair flowing out, but you see a lot of the other players like Richardson, Dowdle's got a bun type thing going. Others have got the hair, up in the hair ties. Did you have any insight to that, Dan? I know you don't have a lot of long hair.
Yeah, no idea, but making sure it's staying out of your face I think is key, but might make a good package for one day.
Absolutely. Maybe next year for CSBNers as Helgeson digs. Richardson up front. Dowdle smacking it. Trying to chase. What a play, but not quite enough. As we saw a great effort. Kodacek trying to chase it down. Play from Lindsay Nurse. As Kat Helgeson serves, and she has her normal routine. She smacks the ball into the ground a couple times to get that right, the right arm muscles activated. Serving. Coming forward, that's just a perfect set. Right location, she's coming forward. We talk about momentum, and right over the net. She doesn't have to sort of just tap it over, get it over. The ball is right in a perfect spot, just swing away freely.
Iris Archibald.
Libero. Volleyball digs, Richardson sets. Kennison going. Hey, it looked like she had her fist on that one and not her hand. What was the the reason behind it?
Yeah, like we said before, she's trying to cut it. Obviously, kind of has to go for a roll there, so she kind of just taps it over all the way to that right side and just a little too much on that one. But a great idea when the block's up like that.
Decisions between finesse and power. You have to think very quickly as a volleyball player. Gagnon going to the power. Helgeson sets again to Gagnon. Blocked off towards the net. This one from Harsh and blocked right back. Panthers take it. And they're up 19-16 in the crowd. On the left-hand part of your screen, you can see that guys are really fiery. And they have some very interesting remarks throughout. And, maybe it's better at some point. The microphones don't always pick those up. As that goes over. Helgeson, Sud, Kennison. A one from Harsh. Helgeson sets to Klumper. Kentucky native, you mentioned earlier, with another kill, and the kill from Kentucky. We like that saying.
My favorite sign up there. That's a Kentucky kill. I had never been to Kentucky, but maybe I'll check it out sometime.
I'm familiar with the Kentucky Derby and horse racing, but that's about the extent of my knowledge. Helgeson sets left side. Kennison, good contact. We see play trying to make it from Carranza, and the stats on the back end, you notice like Occidental, it's balanced in terms of like players having, we see a rotation on their side of the court between like kills and sets. It's not like we have one player like Carranza who's going to have 15 kills, but she's pretty balanced. She'll have 9 kills and she'll have 9 digs as well. All these players having, an important role in these games.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball as well, like you said, offense and defense.
And up front, that one directing off of Sud, and we see Mary giving her some coaching with the 2 hands, trying to give her some advice.
Yeah, we saw that set again there. I said they should keep doing it. That one set, it's quick, it's ready to go, and Coach Mary saw and was like, they're going to keep doing it. Got to get your hands ready to go. But we're going to start it back up again, 21-17. The Panthers looking to close out this first set.
Yeah, that was a great camera angle showing Mary with the tip of wise wisdom she has. It goes over, and very smart from Harsh, as that was going to go over the net. Quite honest with you, Dan. But before it does, she's able to just quickly tap it, get nice height as it's moving slow enough where she's able to time it up. See Kat Helgeson trying to wick some substances off the back of those shoes. Kennison digs, Sud sets, Dowdle, that's just, you can't have that from Occidental. That one drops in whenever Dowdle is up front. She's got great contact, strength on the right side, and the ball just sounds differently off of her hand. Kennison, the middle, this from Chodacek. Sud. Helgeson tracks it down with the wheels. Locked in. That one just didn't go over the net.
Yeah, well, it's actually a really nice block there from the Occidental Tigers, and Julian Kennison gets her legs locked up a little bit. Can't get the pass back up, but resend it back up and got 22 points, 3 more points to go for the Panthers.
Harsh, 5'10", outside hitter. You can see communication between Helgeson and Volleyball, just like, hey, lay off of it, kind of like in baseball, where you're like, hey, take the outside pitch, watch it go out, and no need to try and make it harder on yourself. Just take a free point. Dowdle, dig from Harsh, dropping in. 23-20 with the Tigers down 20, still in this set. If they're on serve and a side out from Chapman needed for them to win this opener.
Yeah, very close first set. Trying to end this one though.
Side outs where you win a point on the return position, and Natalie Whitko, who's been very good throughout this game so far. It's that point. We'll see a rotation. Gagnon, Richardson in. Sud, Klumper heading towards the bench. But notice how they never sit down. It's kind of like me and you up here. We never sit down. Got to stay standing up. Obviously, they're probably sweating a little bit more. 24-20, a set point. A run of them really for the Panthers. Dropping, nice right hand from Kennison. Helgeson calling off the troops. Go to check the hit, and that one will be good. You see the quick call on the baseline right there. Called correctly. We saw the hit from Nurse.
Close call, but they've got the best eye. Threw the flag right down, and that could be a big moment. 24-21, just need a side out here.
This is Carranza. Carranza down, that's Kennison. Richardson sets up to Whitco. Nice dig from Barber. And the point will go to the Tigers, so not so fast. Tigers saving back-to-back set points. Now down 22-24.
Got to get this point here. We're going to play a little bit longer.
This is Gabrielle Barber. Kennison, Richardson coming forward. Gagnon off the hands, directed. And the Chapman Panthers will take the opening set, 25-22. Good play throughout. We saw both of these two teams with, offense, decent play from their sides. But in the end, the Panthers will take the opener. And Dan, take the first set. It's always good to start off with momentum on your side.
Yeah, I was talking about before we even got up here in the booth, if you win the first set, you're setting yourself up for success the rest of the match. So really good to see the Chapman Panthers take that first one. And let's take a look at some of the key points and key moments from that first set as we look at some of the highlights that we've got here for you right now.
Yeah, there were a number of highlights in this opener. This was a point we see coming up with the hit, but blocked right from Gagnon. We see Dowdle up front trying to hit it and moving forward. Very slow-mo, so we can see every little detail as it's off both those hands. Almost can see the high-quality screen of the cameras we have here. Kennison directing off the hands and going right at that Tiger player. Carranza not able to dig it.
Just great to see. We were watching on our big screen we got here. I hope you guys could see that well on your big screen at home. Thank you so much for tuning in to our CSBN broadcast here on the SkyAct Network. Whether you're a fan of Occidental, a Chapman Panther fan, or you're just watching just to watch something on a Saturday afternoon, evening time, it's been a great game so far, and we hope you keep to watch and stick around and join us for the rest of these sets coming forward.
Absolutely. I mean, there could be people out there that are fans of big cats. We mentioned those. A lot of the teams in the SkyAct have, those types of names. And, this one in the jungle right now, Panther Pit, whatever they call it, it's a battle. Tight action, really.
It is,
and you can't just say that the Panthers were able to run away with it because we saw the Tigers, battling and making it closer than the Panthers would have liked. And but I would just, say that the play from the seniors, obviously one might say, their lack of playing, throughout the season. A lot of good play from Brooke Leslie, a young freshman, one of these players. Molly Johnson, a junior, has given opportunities for these older players. Their last game of the season makes sense. Unfortunately for the Panthers, no hopes of, a playoff run and not being able to qualify. You need to be a top four, but one last really hoorah for these seniors.
That's right. It's senior night. We're here to have a great time. Obviously, the girls are playing for their last game, their last home game of their Chapman volleyball careers. And it's really fun to be up here. We're broadcasting with CSBN. Got so many great people here on this broadcast. And I'm so happy to just be up here with you, Josh. It was a great, fun first set, but I'm looking forward to the next 2, 3, or even 4 more.
It's possible. We might be here a while. There was a CSBN broadcast that went 5 hours and 40 minutes. You were producing that one,
I was
not
producing
on
that
talent.
one. Yeah.
And behind the scenes in the control room, having to direct everyone, I was glad to have your voice, in my ear on the headset. And tonight, back out here, partner. Glad to have you here. It's always nice to have a fresh face as we'll send the action back down to the court. So we start off this second set, everybody. We'll start this second one off 0-0. That's how it is in volleyball. It's a similar sport to one like tennis where you can take an opening set, scoreboard wiped clean, and no matter what the score was in the open, you could have won 25-20, could have been 26-24. You've got an opportunity to bounce back if you're the Tigers here, as we'll see this action starting off from the senior. Go to check, and a nice serve. This first point goes to the Tigers like it did the first set.
Yeah, we saw that same exact thing. Obviously, just giving up that first point, but the Panthers rallied back for it. But I don't know. Interesting thing to see, that first bad pass.
See Whitko with like the double braid action behind her, keeping the hair out of her face. And a nice hit from her and off the hand, so whatever it is, it's working for Natalie.
It is, and it's got to be, somewhat part of that height. I mean, already the wingspan, the height, just getting up there, being able to get on the block and swing really, really hard already, and it's working against these blocks right now.
Volleyball, the serve. Just the hit, contact, and Helgeson just looks at that one going off. And a nickname for Natalie they have around here is, they call her Big Bird in terms of a name. She is a talented player, good hands, 6'3", up there, middle blocker. She's effective, and we've seen already her impact up front. Kennison, some blocked. The set, just going to be a free ball for the Tigers. Helgeson, set to Gagnon, blocked up front from Harsh. Again, they're going to try Gagnon, and the contact point will go to the Tigers as we're knotted up 2 apiece in the second.
Yeah, great stuff already. Occidental making the necessary changes, being up on the block, ready to go, pressing over the net like we've been seeing, and interested to see, how they kind of run with this.
You see, even after that point, still smiles on that side. It's, a positive atmosphere all the time, and that point goes right back. You mentioned like that side-out mentality. You lose a point, serving, get right back into it, and just always love the energy of this sport. It doesn't matter what the score is. It's like hard to tell like who's winning just because of the positivity and the energy and love for their teammates in this. After every point, staying positive. Heads up. That one will drop in. 3-3.
You can see Coach Mary Cahill saying, saying, nah, you got to follow those ones all the way to the end. And I'm happy with the result of that one as it goes deep in the court for another point.
This is Hawthorne, the set from Richardson, right side Gagnon. Blocked by the net. And we could see Dowdle trying to kind of keeping the hands back, making sure to stay away. And 4-3 Panthers. We see Gagnon and Richardson come out. Sud and Klumper come into the game. I wonder if she's got chocolate milk in that, in that hydro flask down there. It's one of her. It's her secret weapon. She loves her chocolate milk. That point goes to Occidental, and it's a lot of these. It doesn't matter, whatever you go to, hydration, water, Powerade, Gatorade, whatever type of liquid works. Sometimes people even use pickle juice.
Sometimes.
This is one that a lot of people like to use. Doesn't taste great all the time, but the effectiveness is definitely evident as Sud sets to Kennison. Harsh. Mobile from the ground. Dowdle with the left hand. That point goes to the Panthers. 5-4. Get a shot at number 12.
Got a great tip there, like you said, with the left hand, making sure that it gets over the net, and bringing back Kelsey Albano, number 3. One of those 7 seniors we're highlighting tonight here on the senior night. Hutton Sports Center set 2, 5-4. The Panthers lead.
Yeah, left-handed, so the ball will spin a bit differently than the right-handers. Then Sud, Helgeson. Klumper just puts it over. And the contact up front, you can see a bit of frustration from Odacek. The lead extends to 2.
As you can hear the football guys getting in on the chance from the bench. One of my favorite parts about volleyball.
This one goes right at Helgeson. Klumper. And Barber putting it over. Klumper sets. Helgeson again, this one right back at Klumper. The delayed jump. The set, middle blocker, left hand. This from Carranza, nice point, but the line judge waves the banner, flag, red obstacle at the end of it, out. The Panthers take the point.
Yeah, a huge solo block there from Maddie Dowdle, and led to the point there. And we're going to see, yet again, Kelsey at the service line.
Albano with the spin, very low over the contact. Look how low the ball is, I've noticed, on some of these sets to Nurse. It must be she doesn't want the point to be as a pod. We talk about the differences, setter-hitter relationships or middle blocker, and some like it just right up so they can quickly make contact instead of having to jump so high right as it's over the net. Make contact. This one launched in. Dowdle trying to kick it, but to no avail is Barber.
Chapman running a much heavier middle blocker, middle hitter offense than we usually see. And I think it's because you got Maddie and Natalie out there. Both some of the tallest players in the team just absolutely rolling through the block.
Dowdle short in the court. Bobo left-handed. This will be from Barber coming forward. Ooh, trying to watch it, Sud. And Occidental will take that gift. Sud looking like that one she thought was going to go out.
Got to be the ones you follow there. That's the second point this set that has gone off to the left, far in the court, and just not following up on it and not getting the pass.
See some of those Chapman faithful in the background. Bobo trying to dig it. That one ends up in the seats. Tie game here early in the second set. Great action as we're going to see serving from the libero, Iris Archibald. He's had a pretty good season. Obviously, the record not where you'd like it to be, but for all intents and purposes, has played pretty well this year. Bumper goes right at Archibald. Says, hey, broadcaster, you're saying good things. I'm going to go right at that player.
Yeah, I think they can hear us. They got to have earpieces or something in, right? They're always tuned in.
It's possible. We never know. I mean, sometimes, we hope they are. Sometimes we hope they aren't, man. I know they go back and listen to these sometimes and makes you hold your breath at what you said during. Hopefully it's all positive, as that's good contact up front. Nice from Hawthorne. Just really driving that ball into the ground, like taking a drive on, Hawthorne Boulevard, now in Los Angeles.
Wow, deep cut, really good.
Yeah, really. That's a street I've spent a lot of my time on the roads on. A lot of traffic in LA. And Ito makes an attempt, put it over the netted obstacle in the middle of the court that we call the net.
There you go. Jenna trying to go for the one-hand set, but that one just doesn't go quite high enough as we set back up yet again.
Sometimes the net can be a bit annoying sometimes. It's really a simple thing to get over, but sometimes quite annoying. That one goes wide and talks about, in a lot of sports, just hit the ball as hard as you can, power and a lot of things, but really the amount of finesse and accuracy is so important and focus, because the ball can be coming at you really quickly if you have to get the hands, and you already have to make that quick adjustment to be hitting. Every single position out there has opportunities, as Whitco coming forward, and the Tigers starting to gain stride.
Yes, they are taking the lead for the first time tonight. Obviously 11-8 now. Jenna Richardson had two very tight sets that, you think you might want to just toss over, but.
Right-handed go to check senior. This one going left side. Gagnon cross court all the way. Point goes to the Panthers. Kennison, number 17, into the game, who's been terrific for Chapman all throughout this year, really, as we see a look at one of Chapman's right side offensive linemen.
Donovan Porter.
Block up front, nicely done. We see Natalie and Leighton up front. There was a play yesterday where there was a bit of an iffy call, I'll call it, just straight up from officiating. And the very next point, Leighton, after it killed, looks directly at the umpire. A little bit of enthusiasm, some energy looking at that point. Goes to Chapman. You don't always kind of see that, that type of stuff. But the call, it was the energy going right at it, like, hey. I had a nice play. We're going at it, and we're not going to take the impact away from us, as this will be set up front off Natalie. And making an attempt at the volleyball. Tied up at the dead middle part, the midpoint of the second set. Kennison digs. Richardson behind her, going at Gannon. So the impact, it's an interesting type spot there because you would think normally it would be easier to either set straight up or in front of you, but going behind her that time was Richardson.
Yeah, the 5 set is one of the more difficult sets. The back set can be a little difficult to time, but that comes with lots of practice.
Volleyball digs. Richardson sets forward, and we see Kennison, and Dowdle comes back, and would go to the bench for, you would imagine, will be a brief stay. As Helgeson forward, hitting it. This from the right side. Dowdle, and another point to Chapman, so they're up 14-13. The crowd has been continuously energetic throughout. You would, going forward, you would wish that every game had this type of a crowd. It would be awesome, as some players, say they play better with a larger crowd. Obel with a nice diving dig. Leganian, the tip over in the middle. Richardson sets left side. Kennison putting every ounce and inch her body weight into that hit. And it's too hot to handle. The setter dump, and well executed on the offensive side. Chodacek.
Yeah, great stuff there. We saw it just get over the block there. Julian Kennison laying out, but just a tad short.
Volleyball with the dig. Gannon on the right side, going at the hands, and just have to, with Hawthorne, it's right at you. It's very difficult when it's almost higher that chest, sort of neck level, where you can't get your hands. Obviously, you want the, position so that they're under hitting, the top right side of, your thumb. But there, it's coming at her and not able to dig it with proper technique. This block back. Left side. Global Sud. This one, running it down, is harsh. And it's on that side of, when you have, players as will get a timeout. When we talk about, kind of like these sways of, playing well and, consistency from, as we get, good amount of energy and crowd noise from the football squad and players here, and going forward, when you're a player coming into a game like this, your last, opportunity, you want to, go out and, show, leave something behind for other players or, for your family that drove out here or that spent so much time, because it's not just, this game of the season. It's really been, your whole life in this sport for so many players.
Yeah, indeed. And you can see family plays such a pivotal role. Obviously, so many of them showing up, not only just for the seniors, but, family, friends, and everybody for this team. We've been talking about a lot, recently, that people who really come out here to all these games are really those family, those close friends that show up and show out for both home and away games. You talked about how full that Whittier game was last night, and to see this many people out here again for this last game of the season, it's great. And especially, Chapman Panthers that are current students or even alumni.
Yeah, talk about alumni, not for volleyball, but for football. Alexander Waddell is here tonight. He sitting over there in the crowd and, having a good time. He actually came out to me with that game. We drove out there, carpooled together to go out and see Whittier play. So it's always good to see. And we talk about the relationship, between these teams coming out supporting and bringing that crowd energy. It was nice to see and help Chapman get a win as Sud with the set down line. Just the hit. Volleyball digs. Sud sets. Right side. Klumper.
Beat the block there. Just couldn't press the hands over, and Kayla Klumper drops it back down for yet another Kentucky kill.
This is Sud. The middle. Go to check, and Helgeson digs. Sud. It's the Klumper. Blocked. Helgeson. Point goes to the Tigers. So 18-15. Opportunity for the Tigers, who have been in both of these sets all the way, but it's just been, the Panthers really pacing these two openers so far and being able to consistently play well enough to stay on top. As Kennison, this one set, Dowdle, contact off the hands, ricocheting off into the crowd. You see that money spending signal, the tip.
Yeah, the touch.
Really.
Yep.
See that Chapman bench. You see Volleyball, who hasn't spent a lot of time on the bench today, getting a quick breather. Ronza, and that one goes out.
And I must say,
Kennison in the game.
Yeah, we bring out Brooke Leslie now, number 20. We talked about her a little bit in the first set. Definitely a difference maker and somebody to watch out for the next 2-3 years.
Oh, next year with Kennison and Leslie returning, and we see Dowdle out there. Sud as well, and that point goes to the Tigers. We'll continue on this topic with, we're talking about depth, but the young core, part of this team and how well they played throughout the season. I mentioned, like Leslie yesterday hadn't played much in the first two, comes in an immediate impact, and she was playing, maybe the game of the season for her. Very consistent, hit percentage very high, and there it's a kill for Leslie.
Yeah, one of many. 2 weeks ago, she set her career high of 14 kills, I believe, and a great showing from her. And like we said, it just goes to show that the next couple years are going to be bright, even though we have so many amazing seniors, those 7 leaving.
Yeah, one of those players with over 100 kills on the season, 108 coming into this contest. Dowdle has to run after it. She's among the ranks of Julian Kennison, who came in this one with 234 kills, Johnson 118, and Gagnon. So those 4 players have really carried a bulk of the load at those hitter spots. Into the net, and we see some chirping from the crowd for some of these fans. And does it have an impact? It's possible. And that one goes in the middle of the net. An opportunity for the Panthers, who are only within 3 now of taking a commanding 2-set-to-love lead. Richardson serves the set. Left hand from Kennison. The Tigers will take that point.
22-18 here in the home stretch, but this set isn't over yet. Only a 4-point difference. Occidental is still in this, and especially when they're serving.
Gagnon. Left hand.
Wow, amazing to keep it alive there.
Richardson, Leslie, contact. Smashed off the ramparts up top. Richardson. Gagnon, contact, diving after it. Wow. This point still going. Great action, Whitco. Kennison. Mr. Richardson, Leslie, contact, and the Tigers take it. You can see their crowd, left part of this screen. It's a nice reaction, and looks like Mary telling her players a bit of advice after that last one.
Yeah, hard-fought rally, but a great point if you're a Tiger fan. And Panthers looking to strike back here.
Helgeson, Kennison. That one. Off and 23-19, Panthers within 2. As we see some of the high fives, double high fives often in volleyball, Dan.
Yeah, got to make sure like we said, we're keeping the morale high as a timeout is taken on the side of Occidental. As the Panthers are looking to end this one, only 2 more points, and they have the serve. Looking as we're closing up this second set, you have to be wondering, what is Coach saying over there? What do you think? What are the changes that need to be made?
On the Occidental side, they played okay, but it's just a matter of the play so far. I think they have to do a better job of just putting balls into the net and just outright winning them, as you see here on this. Just looking at Leslie going over to hand the ball to Sophie Volleyball. Very important to get the ball to the correct person who's going to serve. We always need that, and then she throws it over to the bench. So great sequence right there, Dan, as we see the handoff. Right, normally that's something in football, but we see the handoff in volleyball, giving her the ball to serve.
Yes, indeed.
To play the sport of volleyball that we love so much.
Yeah, and it looks like it's the Chapman serve. The ball was over there on the Oxy side for a little bit, but Sophie Boble getting it set up yet again, ready to start the play again. And here we go, just 2 points needed.
The set, trying to dig it with the right hand.
Beautifully, beautifully, beautifully done. A tough set there, sets it with a bump behind her head, finds the person that she's set into and hits it. Exquisitely done.
Exquisite. Richardson, this is live. Helgeson, that point's a free ball for the Tigers set up front. Great dig from Richardson, getting low with the knees. Kennison tracking it with the set. Carranza watching it go out, and Chapman's got themselves another run of 4 straight set points with Kat Helgeson to serve for it, as you get the welcome greetings on the bench with Natalie Whitko. As Helgeson jumps into the ball, the set up front, and contact. Panthers are going to need a side out, Dan, to take this second.
Yeah, Anaya Hawthorne just absolutely demolishing that one from the front row. A great set. And, just need a side out here for the Chapman Panthers to win this set out.
Boble. One Dowdle off the hands. And the Panthers take the second set here, 25-21. You see them come together. Get a look at that coach of the Occidental Tigers, and they will switch sides, something they do in volleyball. After every set, they decide to switch sides. You see Coach Mary Cahill, and that was a great bit of action with the Panthers coming to play.
Yeah, and taking the second set, leading 2-0 going into this third set. You've got to be feeling good. I mean, the Chapman Panthers obviously dominant that set, but it's still close. It's not like they're out of it now.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at some of the highlights from this second set. As we see Helgeson grabbing the ball, smacking it to the ground a couple of times as she prepares to serve forward. A look at the bench. Seniors, Kayla Klumper, Natalie Whitko, and a bit of action. As you can see, that crowd really well packed in tonight. And we'll just say we've had a little bit of difficulties with replay. Some of these we've meant to show you some stuff, and it's just been, the action beforehand. But going into this one, the Panthers with an opportunity to sweep on their senior night.
Yeah, and looking forward to doing so, I'm sure. I'm sure the bench is feeling the energy, trying to get it going. But, if you're Occidental, you've still got time to bounce back here. We saw it last night, like Josh has been saying so often, talking about that Whittier game. Obviously, they bounced back from that 2-0 deficit. So we're going to see if Occidental can come out here and do it too.
Yeah, they have an opportunity, and we have seen they've been in these. Right, Dan, they've been in both of the sets, as we've got Simba, I guess, right there, the baby. That's my guess for his name. We've got a player with, it looks to be, held up in it looks to be good technique, Dan. Blaine. I guess I was wrong with the name on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe not Simba, but you can see the fat heads out there. We talked about the palm fronds earlier. Not too sure what those are just used for yet, but I mean, all the merch coming out for tonight. You've got these awesome T-shirts, these cool heads you get to wave up in the stands. The palm fronds, I got to know what they're for, what the importance is, but I'm sure we'll figure it out soon enough.
Yeah, we've got, don't worry, that's not Jenna Richardson out there in the crowd. That's just a fat head of her with, that was a cool shirt. I guess they printed those out to recognize the 7 seniors for this. As the wide shot on that left-hand part of your screen, top left, those are, football players. On the, in the middle part of it, we can see the rest of the crowd that filled in here really well today. A lot of parents, relatives, family, and sets up a really good set of action. This third one could prove to be the decider
As you can see, Coach Mary Cahill walking over to have a little bit of a conversation with the ref, looking at our lineups as the buzzer goes off, which means we're about to start our set 3. Looking to make it the last set if you're a Chapman Panther fan, but you know, the Tigers still have a chance to fight this one back. And if we've known anything about this sport, there's definitely a very, very good chance that they will go and do that. But for now, we're going to focus on this third set as the girls are lining up and getting ready to go.
They are lining up, and you see number 5, that's Gabrielle Barber for the Tigers. And still, the energy, this is the last game of the season for the Tigers also. He mentioned only having 1 senior on their roster, but the crowd coming out tonight and setting up as Richardson will possibly start serving a set for the last time in her career. We'll see. Stay with us on Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network. The hit up front. Richardson sets to Whitco, blocked. Whitco digs. Boble with the left hand. Dan coming up, athleticism, using the knees to jump.
Wow.
Makes a nice play.
Great, great stuff. Quick on the thinking. Boble coming in the clutch.
She does. Just making that call herself was Helgeson. And the point goes to Chapman. They're up 2-0. Up front, contact. Kennison tracking it down. Helgeson. Boble, free ball over. Cassette. That one off the hands of Helgeson. And it'll go to the Tigers.
Not quite there, obviously, but trying their hardest to, make it work. As Josh has some super fans up there in the stands. It's a great night.
Yeah, we've got coming forward. That ball will go out. Yeah, I guess up on the top left, there's flags of me up there in the crowd.
No, they're shouting out the CSBN legend up there as we get right back to the action. Julian Kennison.
Richardson to Whitco. Digging it out. Natalie sets up front. And another point going to the Tigers as it is 3-2 now for Occidental.
Yeah, and they take the lead early yet again, but we saw Chapman fighting back for it. You know, they go over and over with it and trying to hard as we see those flags just right quick. You know, we saw Josh in all walks of life, on the tennis court, in the press box, and just walking around campus, ready to go.
I guess so. I'm kind of at a loss for words at the moment as Gagnon contact up front. This from Richardson. Gagnon again.
Great dig there from Iris.
Yep. This is Kennison, Richardson, and the point goes to Chapman. They have the lead. 3-3, tied, excuse me.
And looking forward to it as we see Sophie Boble back at the service position. We said that she had gone on that run earlier this season.
Yeah, Boble, she serves and digs that. This is Richardson up front, Kennison down line. The set from Archibald off Kennison. Boble diving after it. She still loved the fight. A bit of a smile gets the hair out of her face. And it is 4-3 Occidental.
And she gave the motion, let's think about the next point. Let's think about the next side out. We just got to fight for this next point, which has been the mindset all game for them today.
Richardson sets to Gagnon. The tip, just a smart play, dumping that in between the defense up front and in that back row. Chapman, 4-4. I can imagine this is going to be a great third set.
Yeah, saw the lack of coverage there, found a spot right over the blocker's hands and made it work.
Helgeson middle. Oh, to check. Boble right hand. Can't bring it in. And it is 5-4 Occidental. As we see some back and forth in this third.
Much more than we saw in these first two sets. And It's got to go to show the coaching ability of the Occidental head coach here.
Volleyball digs. This is Richardson. Kennison hits in a great block up front. Almost alive from the Panthers. That was Eliana Channel. With a nice play. 6-4. Apologies if I did a butcher job on that one. Which I definitely have this year, but it's okay.
I'm always bounce back.
Volleyball digs. Richardson. Gagnon, right hand. And hit up front. Dowdle smacking that one down with what you like to say,
authority.
Yes, 5-6, and we've got a Panther fan just hand on his head in awe of the greatness. It's Alfonso Barmore Jr., an outside linebacker, just in awe of the great play.
Great play there. Another overpass. Maddie rises up to the occasion, quite literally and figuratively, and gets another point here for the Panthers.
Yep, 6-6 here. Sud serves. That's down line. Front, Helgeson. Sud sets over Helgeson. Ball goes out. Those 7-7. We've just seen it back and forth. The lead changes, tying it up, brewing it. And Occidental with their play, they're playing pretty good volleyball right now, Dan.
Yeah, very, very, very good. I mean, we've seen it taking the lead back and forth, but this is closer than the first two sets combined.
This is Kennison, Sud. Kennison again paving the way for the Panthers. We mentioned earlier with the most kills by a wide margin on this roster.
As Kelsey Albano takes a step back in to play that back row defense for Julian Kennison. But we said earlier, she's been very balanced for the rest of the season, but Kelsey Albano coming in to play some defense and give her a break.
Albano, left hand, spins it in. Up front, Channel, Bobo blocks. This from Carranza, blocked up front again. And point goes to Chapman, taking the lead 8-7.
Little net error there, just caught up a little bit. You can see it moving. And Chapman trying to take this energy and run with it a little bit here, I'm sure.
This is Albano again. Good run serving. Middle of the court, blocked. Or dug out, beg your pardon. Helgeson, Sud, Dowdle. Set to the left side. Albano is on it. Boble putting it over the front line of the defense. Boble again. Sud. To Klumper. And she smacks it in. 9-7 Panthers, and we've seen the senior play, and you thought coming into this we would see the senior play, but they've been playing good. And obviously the chemistry not fully on the court as they haven't spent a ton of time playing and throughout this season, but today they've meshed really well together. That point will go to Oxy.
And a quick substitution here for the Tigers. As the Tigers are looking to even it back up. Panthers taking the lead a little bit here, but still plenty of points to play with. Still going to 25.
Yeah, to serve, this is going to be Gabrielle Barber. 9-8 differential. They trail. Sud. This is Klumper. Good call on the back line. That one's out, so 9-9. We've talked about how close this set has remained with Occidental and the play. We talk about obviously getting a good lead, but they've been in the two, and really this could be split at one apiece.
It's been a close fight all set tonight, and the Panthers looking to get this side out here.
Dowdle dropping it in, and point goes Panthers' way. Big action. You see bright smiles all around. Shot of Go to check the senior out of Berwyn, Pennsylvania. Setter position at 5'8". Setter dump. Albano's all over that with the dig. Whitco blocked back. Albano. Quick. Boble with great contact and the kill. He takes the point.
Big stuff, big stuff. Everybody's hyped for the senior, but how can you not be hyped after a kill like that?
I don't know. Maybe if you're an Occidental fan, you're not. You're like, oh, man. A great play from the senior, number 21. Whitco. Boble, free ball. Left side, blocked. And that was a great opportunity set off. Going from behind her, blocked, and Occidental takes it after a terrific point.
Almost had it there. Almost 3 consecutive blocks. That one just couldn't get the hands over the net, but great stuff from the defensive side of things if you're Coach Mary Cahill looking at the team.
Boble digs. Boble hits. This goes over. Oh, the communication.
No.
It's in the middle of a cluster of Panthers.
My
They
heart.
can't take that from you. Tim Bassett, we got to protect you.
I've been talking about it. You got to communicate out there. You can't be doing that to me, letting the ball drop like that.
Carranza puts the serve in the bottom of the net, which isn't what you want to do in the sport of volleyball.
No, definitely not, especially when you're at the service line. That's the 4th service error tonight, all going the way of Occidental Tigers. No service errors for the Panthers just yet. I am a proud commentator tonight.
Always glad to hear when Dan Batson's a proud commentator. Excellent stuff up here. Richardson, Boble, good contact the opposite way. This is harsh. Helgeson to Gagnon, blocked and it's out. Chapman extends lead 13-11. And could this be the last bit of action for these Panther seniors in their career? And it's sort of a bittersweet. You win potentially, and that's it for you, or?
Yeah, still got 12 points to work with. We've got half a set at least, and we're gonna see how they go about it. But still a tight fight.
Running it down. It's Camille. It goes to Occidental.
Well, that point actually went to Chapman because they hit it outside of those alarm poles. They kind of look like candy canes, but that lets you know that you can't hit the ball outside of those. So that one's going to go to the side of Chapman. 14-11 in set 3.
Helgeson. Gagnon, good block. Boble contact, blocked back. Whitco trying to find an angle. Great play from the Oxy side defensively. Boble with the dump, and that will be a kill for the senior. And just tell me about the coaching point from Mary Cahill as you get a timeout is too often Boble was like diving in certain situations throughout the year, and Cahill and wanting Sophie to use her feet more and not rely on like those knee pads to dive and really create a sequence of better footwork, how to wear the knee pads lower.
Interesting. And I've, as a volleyball player myself, I don't usually wear knee pads at that middle blocker position, but if I did, I see it a lot, wearing them below the knees. Like you said, emphasizing the way to move your feet first to the ball, and if you have to lay out, you have to. But we've seen Sophie Boble be all over the defensive side of things and lay out a couple of times way deep in the court. So her defensive energy and style is unmatched when you look at the rest of this team.
It is, and maybe that young baby is a potential future Panther volleyball player. I know that there's certain individuals that I know that are going to be playing volleyball for Chapman's club volleyball team.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to Blaine. Blaine out there, a.k.a. Simba, a.k.a. the young baby from the CSBN broadcast. We're looking forward to you.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe he'll watch this one day and take inspiration.
I sure hope so.
If we can inspire young babies to play volleyball, we are doing our job, Dan.
That's correct.
That's
just the
what we
babies,
like.
though, nobody else.
Yes. Richardson. This is harsh. Richardson. That's Helgeson off hands, and the lead 16-11. If you're Occidental, when you want your season to extend a little bit more, going to need to see the Tigers play a little bit more really aggressively. The Panthers have really taken control of this third. Richardson This is Helgeson. And the contact behind her, you could see Gagnon on with her right hand and trying to get the footwork there to put it over. And 12-16 opportunity now.
Yeah, trying to get the roll shot there to work out, but obviously just not enough juice on that one. And it's going to fly.
Archibald. Whitco. Ogden. Point goes to the Panthers.
Very, very, very well done. You got to be happy about that one. Natalie just rising up to the occasion, and a lot of these points are just kind of flying off the hands of the blockers. They're not pressing too much, and we're looking forward to seeing Sophie back at the service line.
Bolt, those players that doesn't jump on the serve. That goes out, and there's different tactics really that people have to get the more effectiveness on that shot. And some people stay on the ground, whatever really that works for you and the way you learn it going forward. So Boble waits as we get a rotation on the Occidental side.
And you got to be happy with how this is turning out if you're a Chapman Panther fan. Obviously, the Tigers kept it close in between those first 10 points, but the Panthers really starting to pull away here. 18-12, just 7 more points until we end out this senior night. Incredible to think about.
It is winding down, but still a bit of time left for Oxy. Kennison blocked, and that hits pole, as you mentioned. Point will go to the Tigers.
Another substitution. Looks like Oxy's trying to do everything they can to bring this one back, and the Panthers are just kind of confident with who they got out there.
Boble digs. Gagnon, free ball. Nice play from the two seniors. Left side. Helgeson set. Whitco. Toe to check. Boble digs. Richardson. Gagnon. No can do from Kat Kodachek, and a kill. As we get a look at Jenna Richardson, that's Eliana Chanel, middle blocker for the Tigers. Helgeson comes forward. It's an in play and an outright ace.
Yep, and that's her second service ace of the night. Kat Helgeson doing extremely well from the service line. And they're saying, you need a timeout. You got to slow the momentum somehow, as the Chapman Panthers are the first to 20.
20-13, and 5 points left for the Panthers to finish this one up. It's been a lot of fun doing this broadcast. We'd like to give credit where it's due to people like Emily Cho together, Colin Gaja. You see a shot of some of the Chapman players on the bench coming together, which could be their last timeout break of their career.
Man.
The sentimentalness of the moment.
Yeah, and especially leaving, if this is the last set that they're going to play, it's kind of looking like that at the moment. Only 5 more points.
And how special it is for Kennison and Dowdle to be out there playing with these guys, right? A couple of players that have the opportunity to go out there and compete with these seniors when it is their special night, where it's about them, and they're actually able to come out and play.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, I mean, this is just a moment of pure joy for everybody out there on that court. This is a sport that, you work hard on and you put in the hours to do, but you do it because you love it. You're a student and an athlete, and this passion for the game just shows on right through here.
This is Helgeson serving. A little dump. Richardson, free ball. Forward, and point goes to the Tigers, 20-14 now.
Tigers still looking to try and bring this one back, but definitely a deficit to make up here. 6 points.
Off the net, Richardson, Kennison. Will be a dig going right back over the net. Gagnon carrying off, and a point going to Chapman, 21-14, as we see Klumper, Sud rotate into the game, and Richardson and Gagnon out.
Chanel Sudd on the service line. Usually we see her starting out at the setter position, but Jenna Richardson getting the reps in for one of her last games tonight.
This is Sudd deep in the court. Set near side on the left. Eliana Chanel, and Panthers still going to need a couple of side outs potentially to finish it up. But again, in Cahill, you'd think she has a daughter on this team. Katie Daniel hasn't played tonight, but she had a good role yesterday, was playing a good amount, and future is bright for her daughter with a future in this program. Klumper left side blocked. Sudd. Helgeson waving everybody off like a center fielder in baseball. Up front, Dowdle, she loves doing that.
And what do we say that is? She's slamming it down with authority. Great stuff from Maddie there. Obviously just crushing it on the overpass. You love to see that with your middle blocker.
Just poised like on a tree, like a panther almost in the Serengeti, ready to pounce on a wounded gazelle. Dan Batson, like it's bloody, it's wounded, it's limping around, and the ball's just sitting there for her, and she puts it on the ground. Point goes to Chapman. Huge point. Helgeson. Sudd to Boble. Is directed off away. That point is in. That ball drops in right on the call. From our angle, it's tough. Sometimes you're blocked when, this is something I actually learned as a tennis player, is that from our angle on that ball, it's blocking what we can see. So we really can't tell from the side, because it's blocking whether the ball was 6 inches in or out. We can't tell. 22-16. Helgeson. Sudd. Boble blocked. Albano the set all the way to the other side.
What a set.
Klumper the other way again. Boble. Blocked. Carranza. And point goes to the Tigers. So, bit of patty cake back over. Hitting some of these as it's 22-17. And the Tigers with a little bit of hope.
Yeah, still a 5-point difference here, but definitely closing the gap. If you're the Panthers, you want to get a side out here.
Helgeson, Dowdle, not dull as I've been told. Sudd, near side, Boble. Throws it into the exit door and off that. So 22-18. He's going to see a shot of her and her roommate, Kat Helgeson.
Got to be looking for something here. I mean, you got to get a side out. Got to get the momentum back on your side if you're Chapman. Just like that.
Good contact. And again, look to the stars and see bright, shiny objects and a promise of what's to come. Maddie Dowdle will be coming back to play Chapman Panther volleyball for this team, and it will be a bright future, really, for this team with her up front. Good contact.
Lindsay Nurse with authority. Found the slide there option a little bit and beat the block, and that's down right in the middle of the court. But spirits are still high if you're a Chapman Panther. You still got the lead, just 2 more points and you're out.
Albano, Sudd, Klumper into the crowd, and it sets up a run of match points, career points, as essentially trotting off for one last time, coming to the court, fans coming to their feet for support, and emotion starting to come upon a lot of the players and fans. 24-19, Richardson. The set, Helgeson digs. Back at Richardson, and it's 20-20. I'm getting chills right now, Dan, just thinking about this. Like the last time ever in the broadcast booth for a Chapman volleyball game, and you get to know these individuals more than just players, and it's been an awesome opportunity to appreciate everything they've been able to forward us with. As Gagnon hits the pole, and it goes to the Tigers' way. Just allowing us to get interviews, doing Dan Doeses where you can talk to them, where you can dig balls out like stars of Kat Helgeson and learn how to do it as Albano. Richardson. Point goes to the Tigers, 22-24 now. Panthers looking for a side out. And we get a timeout, so we'll continue to talk about this. The moment continues to last as we will have to discuss the coming doom of our season broadcast.
You know, I think the next upgrade we got to have for a CSBN broadcast is like a heart rate monitor.
Yes.
For me up here in the booth for volleyball games, because I guarantee it is way over the healthy limit for the amount of standing I'm doing right now. I'm too stressed out about this, but I just know we got 2 more set points to go, 2 more match points to go, and the Panthers are going to come out of this timeout, and we're going to see what they can do here. Obviously, it's been a tough fight, but this one went back and forth. They brought the lead up a little bit larger than life, and the Tigers fought back.
They have only 2 points, and they're on serve, 22-24. But again, the moment, 2 more match points. 7 seniors, their senior night. On the other side, Eliana, Kat, go to check. Potentially her last point as that one will go off from Natalie Whitco. Panthers come onto the court, come together and embrace. They win this set 25-22, take it in straights, take out the brooms. They sweep the Occidental Tigers in dominant fashion in the last game of the season. You see the crowd, the handshake lines coming together and high-fiving their assistant coach, the energy, and that will wind things up for the regulation of that game, Dan. What a performance from these Panthers.
And I mean, it's just an emotional and special night for so many people up there in the stands watching the last game, and of course the seniors playing their last game. And it's been an honor to be up here with you and with everybody here on the CSBN broadcast team to make this broadcast happen and make this dream a reality for all these seniors that are, making this officially their last game. But like you said, 3-0 Chapman in straight sets as the crowd finds the exits and is getting ready to meet them all once they get to come out of the locker rooms for one final time. And I mean, it's just been beautiful. I've been Dan Batson. I'm here joined by Josh Blinder. We actually got some senior night bling as well. We got some nice little necklaces, courtesy of some of the seniors from the Chapman women's volleyball team. So we want to say thank you from up here in the booth. I mean, it's been pretty nice to wear all game. I'm not going to lie.
It has been. It's been a piece of merchandise, jewelry, whatever you want to call it. We're very fortunate to have it and to wear it throughout this game. Maybe the lucky charm in some case, but it's been our absolute pleasure. I've been having so much fun with you, partner Dan Batson, with these games. We're going to be on the call for Chapman's last football game of the season next Saturday night at 7 o'clock at home against Cal Lutheran. To all the faithful fans tuning into our broadcast this season, I'm Josh Blinder, Dan Batson. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the year. Have yourselves a great rest of your Saturday afternoon.